Everyone with the ECB team, and they're gonna react on Eurovision 2020 songs entries. Let's get started. So this time will be all about Luxembourg. The country has chosen their act via the Luxembourg Song Contest 2026. It has an overall of 8 acts competing to represent the country in Vienna, and the winner is Eva Maria with Modern Nature. She has won the vote, both the jury vote, by the way, and the public vote, and that's why she was crowned as the winner. Let's see what do we think about Mother Nature by Eva Maria, starting with you, Naomi, please.
Yeah, I think it's a really lovely choice. I think the messaging of the song is really beautiful. I think it's really lovely. Um, and yeah, just a bit about Eva Maria. She's born in Luxembourg, but I believe she's born to Slovenian parents. She has a really way with her storytelling and her violin playing. I think it's really charismatic. I think she's really good at that storytelling. Obviously, she said she really likes Alexander Rybak. Again, that violin connection. But she really tells the story in her way of playing the violin and singing really good. Now, like in the performance, you don't actually know she's about to play the violin. The way that they did that with like the camera effects and everything, and her suddenly just up playing the violin was really clever. I actually hope they replicate that on the Eurovision stage so that the audience, when they're watching, they don't know she's going to play the violin. It's almost like a secret. And then just to have her then doing it, but was actually really clever and really smart. And I did actually really quite enjoy that. And it definitely was memorable and it stuck in my head, that kind of element. However, um, there are concerns about the song. I'm going to be honest with you. It does sound similar to a Birdie song. So it's the one that goes da 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 da
Keeping
da
your
da
heads up, I
da.
think, yeah.
Yeah, that one. Da 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 da. We've heard it in the UK. We hear it in some of our adverts. So that's how I've known that song. So it is a little bit of a concern. Um, I mean, sometimes Eurovision songs are based off other songs. That happens. But the similarity for me, what concerns me is that it sounds a little bit too hard to ignore. Obviously, we can't, claim anything here. I don't want to get in any legal trouble. I don't know who's done what or who's authorized what or who's created what. We are not part of that in ESCB, so we don't know. But what we can say is that it just sounds similar. Does it mean somebody plagiarized it? Does it mean somebody copied it? It just sounds very similar. That's all we're saying. So just don't take that personally. So with that, I worry that the effect of that will be that people just think about the Birdie song and then they've kind of just forgotten about Luxembourg. So that's why it's a bit of a concern. Because when you base something of something, that's great. It can give you vibes of this song, that song. That's great. But if it's hard to ignore, then it takes away from the original, piece that you were trying to create. So that's why it's a concern for me in terms of the Eurovision audience, what they might be thinking of, and kind of the effect on Luxembourg. So I like the song. I like the meaning. I like her performing. I like how charismatic she is. I love the way, that, as I said, that trick with the violin playing and the way it was kind of displayed in the performance. But I am a little bit worried. So I think we need to see. It's very early in the season still. At the time that me and John are recording this, I think we're going to have to see how it plays out. But having an alleged thing and it just seem a bit similar is a bit of concern, but just taking the song as it is, it's very lovely. Eva Marie is a really great artist and violin playing performer. So I think Luxembourg, on that basis, chose very well. But I think we're just going to have to see how this plays out. I'm kind of a wait and see with this one. But yeah, overall, as it is, it's very good.
All right. So yeah, first of all, I wanted to say that the Luxembourg Song Contest level of songs wasn't that high for me this year. I think like it started really great 2 years ago, and each year it went a bit down, but this year wasn't really competitive. I must say that it wasn't my favorite to win the selection. I was in Team Daris with Melusina, a great French song that at least I thought it could do really well in Eurovision, but that's what we have. Um, yeah, so regarding Eva Maria, first of all, she's really adorable, I must say. I think that like you can see how her personality is really divine she looks like a good person, and for real, I'm saying that. Like she has something like really convincing in the way she puts the art on the table. But I'm not sure that the song is that strong, to be honest. So speaking of genre, I would classify it as something like between indie to pop song. Start with a short instrumental part, and then it's like merged into the first verse when we have it basically based on some guitar strumming, and then we have more and more elements added. Um, but yeah, in other words, like the melody is really simple and raw in the beginning. Thereafter, in the chorus, we have the piano, drums, bass, all those things, and the more classical place once the violin is added on stage and both also on the melody. I think that when we speak about Luxembourg in general, or at least on the short history of 2 years we have in the modern era of Eurovision, we're usually gonna get more or less what we have on the national selection. I mean, in terms of like the staging, the concept, the colors, and so on and so forth. So I think that we already can get kind of idea of what we're gonna have in Vienna. Um, which is on one side very heartwarming, even like the way she like lied on stage and then like have this awakening so cold and all the colors and some graphics, which is good. But I'm not convinced it will be strong enough in order to to kick it into the very high places. On vocals, I have nothing to say. She's like a good vocalist, and the piano adds a lot here. I agree with you on that, Naomi, that it has some similarities to Birdie songs, giving your head up or whatever it calls. But this one is like more laid back, less modern, less. I think the production is like not that kicking like with Birdie. Um, so yeah, I mean, my hope on that is probably jury gonna love it a bit, because it's mostly a jury radio friendly song, but not sure about its overall chances. So yeah, overall. But one thing I must add is that I think she won the national selection for a reason. Because I think that in the national selection, many of the entries presented like a not that great presence or performance, and she was the one that was like watching the national final. I could see why she can win it, the national selection itself, but before that, I couldn't predict it. So I think like it's a good sign for her to be a very strong, vocalist, ones with a very specific character that either you like it or not, but at least you can put your bets on in the sense that it will confidently go well on stage. So that one I couldn't ignore. All right, so just to remind all of us that Luxembourg gonna compete in semifinal number 2 in the first half of the show. And that's leading us to the next question. Naomi, do you think Luxembourg gonna make it to the great final or not?
I'm really sorry. This is actually going to be the first country of us filming this where I'm actually going to say it's not going to qualify. I'm so sorry. I think that Eva Marie is a brilliant performer. As I said, she's charismatic, really knows how to tell the story of her art, and is a true artist. That does not take away from how brilliant she is as a performer on the stage, and her vocals as well. Yeah, that was a good point about her vocals as well as her violin playing. Um, but for me, I just cannot ignore the concerns. For me, the fact that it sounds too similar. I just, maybe I'm biased because I'm from the UK. Maybe it's just a bias thing, but I just can't, in my head. I just can't get past it. I'm really sorry. I just can't. I mean, sounding similar to a song is one thing. Having it kind of, I wouldn't say it's a direct copy. So I'm not. That's not at all what I'm saying. But it's just that the similarity is quite obvious. That's what I'm saying. It's too obvious for me. And again, this is a personal view. Others may disagree, and they think actually the fact that it has that vibe really works for them. That's really great. But again, this question is asking for my personal opinion. I just think it will get lost. I think the position that it's in doesn't really help. So the way that probably Luxembourg can bring it round is a potential revamp. If maybe they do bring some of that camera trickery that I felt worked in the national final, maybe that could turn it around. It could maybe add another element and layer that could basically make it qualifying. I love Luxembourg. I want Luxembourg to really do well. So nothing against Luxembourg at all. But it's just for me, I just feel like I just can't get past it. And I think maybe it's just a personal thing, maybe it's just me, maybe I need to just get over it. But it's just I just cannot get past it. So for me, I don't think it's qualifying. I don't think it's bottom of the road. I definitely don't think that. I think it's a very good, talented song with a powerful message. But I think it could get lost. Again, it's very early on. We don't know what other entries are coming through yet at the time of recording. But I just at the moment, my personal view is that it won't be bottom of the road, but it may not qualify at all. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sadly, I tend to agree. If I have somehow to weight up my estimation, I would say like it's around 80% out and 20% in. I do have some hope, but my hope is mostly on the negative merits in sense that if other countries will choose something which is like too weak or weaker than that one or with less state presence or whatever, then it might, lift up the chances for Luxembourg. But this is not the kind of met I want to dig in, if may I say. I mean, we should have songs like, qualifying based on the advantage they have, not the like to compare them with other songs that might not do well. So I think that starting to speak in that terms means already behind the scenes that yeah, probably it's not one of the ones gonna do well, sadly. I still have hope that the jury will appreciate more than expected, at least for Luxembourg. But as for now, as I told before, to be honest, semifinal two is quite open and is the weaker of the two, if I estimate correctly, as for the moment. So everything can happen, but still I'm not convinced. And also regarding the revamp, I think that since the song is very, classical and also like indie pop, and it's not an upbeat pop, it's like mostly, indie pop ballad with classical elements. So I think there is no much space of revamping here. I mean, probably the only thing they could do just to push the violin part a bit harder or just, putting something on stage, any prop or something, but still I feel like that the body of the song, may I say, or the basic of the song is very specific in the sense that you couldn't like play with it a lot. Unlike, for example, I don't know, Tali's Fighter, for example, it has also been revamped. It was a good to begin with, but yeah, there was something to remember. There was kind of part to play with, in other words, and here I don't see it. Also Lower Thorn as well, right? It has also a revamp, a good one, but here just can't see it happening. So yeah, as for this time of recording, I would tend to say they are most likely not to qualify, sadly, because they're gonna break the qualification streak if this is the case. But let's see. All right, let's try to rank that entry based on personal taste only. Naomi, please.
Yeah, I respect Eva Maria completely. And I think the song overall is actually really good. It's not one of my personal favorites, but I do appreciate how the song the good is. So good the song is. Couldn't speak English there. Yeah, I do appreciate the song. So overall, for me, a really great entry. Despite things that I've said, I do actually over appreciate the song for what it is, and respect the artist. So therefore, for me, a really fair score. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. So yeah, well done, Luxembourg. It's still a great song.
Hmm. All right, I think I'm gonna give it 6.5 at the moment. It's not bad at all, but still think some things should be elevated a bit more on that. And on the other hand, I don't think there is much to elevate here based on the how the song is structured and planned. But let's see, it's not a bad song at all, but my main point is that on my free time, I'm not gonna streaming that one frequently, and this is not a good sign for me. So that's why I couldn't give it any score above 7. All right, so let's wish good luck to Eva Maria representing Luxembourg with Mother Nature in semifinal number 2, the first half of the show. Guys, if you like our videos, please tell us in the comments below what do you think about Luxembourg contribution today here. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get notified on any new content that we're gonna deliver in that lovely season. Give us a like and don't forget to visit us on ecb.com, Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, YouTube, and basically everywhere. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.